would say that I'll just say, like, I'm not only just judging the hip hop contestants, I'm judging everyone because I just know exactly, because the show this season is definitely going to be a different type of season where they need to be all encompassed and they need to be able to be well rounded in so many different levels. So like judging them in this space right now is so interesting because, again, how, like I said, the show is different this year, where we're going to be judging upon, can they work in the industry? Can they do music videos? Can they be on a Broadway? Can they do a film? Are they charismatic? Like, can they work with other people? So it's going to be a lot of different elements that comes with choosing this year, rather than just, can someone dance a dance really well, you know? So being that person that has been through each and every one of those things in my life and my career, I feel like it's such a honor, honestly, being able to be on the judging panel and see these dancers and try to judge them the best the way I can and give them as my most honest opinion, only because I'm coming from real situations and real circumstances to give them pointers and stuff.
Oh, that is true. 'Cause that is one thing I think people don't expect, that even though you can do all the styles, you have to be able to, what happens after the show, and be able to fit in the industry. And that is one thing
Yes, you
you.
got to be adaptable. Yeah, you got to be adaptable. Just the industry is cutthroat. It is what it is.
Yeah. So were you nicer to everybody, or were you
Was I
harder?
nice? Oh yeah, I was auntie. I was like auntie. I was auntie. I was very. I feel like I personally think I was nice. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I personally feel like I was nice and just straightforward. I think everyone loves it, and I think they can respect someone just being straightforward.
And after so many seasons, sometime when you're watching the auditions, were you looking, were you finding that there was so many different elements or something you never seen before? Were you like, you know what? I've been watching this a long time. I need to see something different to help me move you to the next level.
Oh, sorry. What did you? Are you saying, like, was I
Yeah.
seeing
When
something
you
that
were
I didn't
watching,
believe
when
that
you were
was good?
watching it this, when you were watching it from a judge's point of view, were you looking
Mm-hmm.
at like how many different elements you can find, something new, something that stood out to you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think along for me while watching it, I watching all the contestants and how beautiful they were and their dance and how everyone after a while could kind of look alike, and you can see how that happens. But what what I think at least I was looking for was that it factor, was that thing that, yes, you have legs and yes you have movement and yes you can you know play to the music and your choreography so well because you've done the choreography so much, but can you really tell a story with what they're doing? Can you pull me in and entice me with more and want more? And I think looking for those little individual beings, which we found and which I saw and which I fought for in some of the contestants, was really exciting to see, because we saw some characters that I think need that's better to see them grow rather than already be perfect at their space right now, but to actually see them grow and see their process. I think that to me is something that's beautiful and that people loves to watch and see and root for.
No, that's great. Now, I was reading there's a new format that they're going to be seeing the contestants like in a house, and they're going to be watching their whole
Yeah,
spirit. You're going to see more of them. So, what can you tell
yeah.
us about that?
What do I feel about
Yeah,
that?
what can you tell us about that? Like, how's that really going to work? Do you
Oh, I
know
can't tell
yet,
you much
or?
other than it might be some drama. I don't know. It might be some. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you much, but I can say that that new element is definitely going to. I think what personally, I think what I know that's going to do for. Sorry, my phone went crazy. What I know that's going to do is for the inside, for people looking in, outside looking in, they're going to really see what it is for dancers to, what their prep is, like how are they prepping to get ready for auditions, because that's what they're doing. They're getting ready for a challenge, which will be considerably in our world an audition. How they prep, how they get along with people. A lot of times, a lot of these dancers have roommates, and they have
Yeah.
rivalry, or they have people who they are close to that help build them, and they have, it's a good competition and support systems. And then you have people who you can see, you just get to see what their daily their daily skill is to lift themselves up to prepare themselves for such a big day, challenges like this. And so I think that's going to be such an interesting insight for people to really normalize what it is to be a dancer and how hard it actually is.
Yeah, definitely. And now you worked with Allison, of course, in the past. So what's it like working with Max? Yeah.
Max is so hilarious. Max is funny. He acts like he's a little hard one, but he's a little
Yeah.
soft.
Yeah.
Little, don't let the little bulk up fool you. He's a softie. I brought him down. It was nice. It was good. No, it was fun. Like working with him and sitting next to him was very insightful. I learned a lot of stuff from him being from the ballroom space and world. It was great to just hear how he commented on certain things that I didn't have my expertise on. So it was great to hear.
Cool. And did you and Allison reminisce a lot? And so working with Allison
Yeah,
again,
here
yeah.
and there.
That's
Yeah, we
always
come
fun.
from the same we come from the same place in the sense of being on the show and coming back as judges. So we both share the same full circle in that.
Yeah, that's definitely a good experience. Now, what advice do you give dancers that want to try out, want to be a dancer? They all know the show. Most of them are waiting to turn 18 to be on the show. What advice do you give them about auditioning?
I guess I've told a few. I feel this is just like just go in knowing knowing at least where you are and the story that you want to tell. Like what is it that makes you different, and in that quirk, that little thing that makes you stand differently from anyone else. If it starts with their name, and putting that into your work and allowing yourself to be just your authentic self within your movement. I say like movement's my communication. Watching, get to know me, like show me who you are through your movement. Sometimes we all know how to walk, but do we walk differently? Do we have a different stride to us? And so really just being able to come on the show means to show us something that is the same everyone else does, but something that's different because it's who you are. You make it different, so show you as much as you can, as quickly as you can, because you don't have much time to really show yourself in these kind of competitions.
No, that's great. And one thing I like about So You Can Dance, it's a family show. You can watch it. You can
Yeah,
bring your family can watch it, all ages, and people really get into it. What does it look like for
yeah.
you? What do you want to tell people why they should watch it this season?
Oh man, I feel like they should. I feel like anyone should just watch it this season because you're just going to get a true highlight of what it is to be a dancer, like what it is to like you love the show, you watch it and you're like, what happens to them after? And then you follow them and you wonder if that they're working and doing all these different things, but you don't realize if you don't see certain people working or you don't see certain people doing things, you wonder what happened, what's going on, like what's that life like. And so this show, this season itself, is going to really dive into what it is and the hard work it takes to make a music video. People are like, oh, I love that music video, it looked
Mm-hmm.
easy. Baby, no, it took 12 hours to just get one shot. Like it takes
Yeah.
so much. And I think it's important for people who aren't dancers and just viewers to really truly see what it is to be in this dancer's shoes, and find a different type of respect for them while seeing them on their journey at the same time.
That'll be great. Now, will we see you later in the season when they get to like the live shows and everything else? Will we see you all season long, or do you know yet?
No, not as of right now. But you'll see me just for the auditions.
Cool. Well, that'll be good. Well, you're also busy as well. Now, we can't let you go
Yeah.
without asking. First of all, you're in London right now, and you're working on Cabaret as assistant choreographer. Talk about
Yes.
that for a second.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting. Well, I was here first working on Wicked the film, so we finished working on that. And after we finished working on that, I got offered the job for Cabaret. And now we're doing the cast change for Cabaret, and it's amazing. It's an incredible show in the West End out here in London, and we can talk about who our new casts are. For anyone who knows Cabaret, our Sally is now going to be Cara Delevingne, and then we have our MC, which is Luke Treadaway. And we have our Cliff, which is Michael, and it's like these. It's just going to be an incredible new cast of people coming in. So I'm just really excited to be a part of the choreography team here, and we'll see where it goes from here. Because now it's going to Broadway.
Yeah.
So they're getting ready for Broadway as well. So it's going to be a really, really big year for us on Cabaret.
Cool, and you can't get any bigger than Wicked. I was like, Comfort is booked and busy. I read about Wicked. I was like, holy cow, look at Comfort go. The trailer they just put the trailer out, and it was really exciting. What can you tease about? What can you tease about Wicked? How interesting was that, being just on that side of it, and not just being a dancer, but here you are, and you're in the choreography team working on this.
Yes. I actually have no words. I think it's probably one of my greatest moments and achievements in the sense of the things that I've learned, the people that I've worked with, what I got to create, the things I got to have my hands on, fully, and it's a complete honor because working with John Chu is incredible. Working with Chris Scott, always amazing, but working with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande and Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh, and Jonathan Bailey, like working with and Jeff Goldblum, like working with them, people that I literally like seen wanted to ever like work with and just looked up to, and just their work in general was an incredible experience. And so I can't wait for the world to see what we did with this movie. It's gonna be something. It really is. It really is.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And it comes back to So You Think You Could Dance, because had you not been on So You Think You Could Dance, you probably wouldn't have got that opportunity. Do you feel that way? Because people saw you and they got to see your work.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think So You Think will always be the space where they'll open up doors, and you never know what the doors leads to. I've met Chris Scott from So You Think You Can Dance, and so we've been working together ever since, and so that always follows. It's like one of those things where but it's all about like who you work with, and I think that's what the show is about too. And that's what I think I can circle it back where it's important. It's about your networking and your relationships. Who are you? How can you work with people? Can people see, hear and say, I loved her from the show. I want to work with her. I want to bring her in on this, and this, because they're adaptable. They're someone that I can actually like be around and work with, and they can listen, and whatever the case may be. And so these are an attest to what it is to come from a show, continue to work with certain choreographers that can continue to bring you in certain spaces that you can continue to elevate from. And yes, the show has taught me that, and has brought me that, and has brought me relationships to get me into these spaces.
Cool. I think when people see that too, I think it also, they like to see what happens, like you said, what happens to the dancers. So I think,
what happened?
So I think when they watch the show this season, they're going to be like, oh, I remember, Comfort, I remember Allison, and look here, they're on the judging panel. Or I see this person on the Oscars dancing, or I saw Ricky on the Oscars one year. So it goes back. So I think it really helps a lot. So I'm really excited about you in general, of course, because always we support you, and just the fact our show's back. So You Think Dance is back. I love watching it, and I enjoy it. I tell everybody. I'm already tweeting about it and tell people they have to watch it. It's back. So, and you don't have to be a dancer to enjoy it as well. So that's one thing I also.
You don't have to be a dancer at all.
Because someone asked me, one of my friends asked me that. Yeah, someone said, "Well, you're not a dancer. Can I watch it?" I said, "Yeah, you don't have to be a dancer to watch and enjoy it." So they thought it was like a show that instructs you about dance. I'm like, no, you need to watch it and see. Yeah. So next week it starts. So we'll be looking forward to seeing it and waiting for the show. Anything you want to say to our? Any last thing you want to say to our viewers before we wrap it up? Anything you want to say to our viewers who will be watching this before we wrap this interview up?
Make sure you watch it on this Monday, 9 p.m. Please don't miss it, baby. 9 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it. I promise you, you're going to see my face, if anything. It's going to be incredible.
That'll be great. Nice talking to you as always, Comfort, and have fun.
Nice talking to you.
Have fun while you enjoy your time in London. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.